Hey, it's Danielle and I am back with a Project Life spread. In this video, I'm going to be working on my week 31. I'm still pretty behind and I I hate being behind, but it still doesn't discourage me from doing it and getting it done. So I'll just keep working on it here and there until I get caught up. Now, this particular week that I'm working on, we were actually on vacation, and I'm going to be doing a traditional layout about this trip. And so I just really wanted to hit on some of the highlights, and that's why I'm only doing one side instead of a double spread. I'm just showing you here how I use that journaling card to color my week 31, my title card. I'm using all One Little Bird products today, and I will link to what sets I use down below. But as always, I'm going to start out with my title card. It's just the first thing I do, and it kind of gets me in the project life mode, I guess. And I'm doing pretty much the same thing I always do. I'm just taking my date stamp and I'm getting my date put on my title card. Now, when I printed and cut this card out, I wasn't paying attention. Usually I like the weekly title to be more in the center of the card, but this one ended up at the top. And at first I thought it was going to bug me, but I kind of left it as is, and in the end I just left it. I didn't change it. Now I have this photo of my daughter playing in the sand, and I just cut it down so there would be a thick white border around that photo. And then I'm going to write a little sentiment at the bottom here. I think I say something like fun in the sun, and then I'm going to draw a line around the whole photo. And you'll see later here I decide to add more to that little sentiment because she's playing in the sand. So I said fun in the sun and the sand. Now the next card that I'm gonna be working on is this little blue card. At the top it says on the agenda. And so what I decided to do was just kind of write some of the highlights of this week and some of the things that we had fun doing. And I just started at one thing, and I worked my way down the list until I ran out of room. And then I'm going to be dealing with this photo. My daughter's just sitting in the lake, and I have this cute little striped card. I originally thought that I would journal on this card something about playing in the water or something about that photo, but I ended up taking these chipboard pieces that came in my hip kit, and I'm just going to get them positioned just how I like them on this card, and then I actually just end up leaving them as it is. I don't do any journaling or anything on that. I'm gluing down these chipboard pieces with some Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and I'm just lining them up. I think they look really cute, and I'm just leaving that as it is. I'm keeping everything pretty simple, and that's always my plan of attack when I'm behind. Now, before I printed out this photo, I used an Allie Edwards brush that says the story of this week, and I just put that on the picture of the lake we camped by. And then I'm taking these little flip-flops, and I'm just going to glue them on this photo. I think that looks really cute. All the chipboard pieces I am using today came from my hip kit. I think it was 2 kits ago, I'm pretty sure. So I have this photo of my husband and my daughter, and I'm just taking this really cute scrap piece of paper. It's kind of a creamy white with a gray polka dot on it. I love it. And then I have this little cross that I'm going to put on top of that. And I think that's just the perfect little touch to that photo. And then I'm gonna bring everything out and take a look at it. Now, normally I stitch on my photos or on my cards or on certain, it seems like every week there's some stitching, but I've run out of white thread, and so I didn't really worry about it this week. I took my pen and I drew around a few of the things, especially this card, but I didn't do the stitching like I normally do. Now, on this card, I just wanted to write something on the bottom of it and keep it super simple, and I said something like, it says today, and then I said we play and have fun or something like that, but I didn't like it at all. So what I decided to do is to just cut that today circle out, and then I'm going to just take some scrap paper or some white cardstock and cut out a 3x4 card and then glue this circle back onto it. And what I decide to do to just give it a little bit more excitement is I take some foam squares and I pop them up. I pop that circle up. I really like these squares. They're thin. I don't remember the name of them because I don't have them in the packaging anymore, but they're not super thick. I get them at Hobby Lobby, and I really, really like them. So I decided I wasn't going to write on this card again. I knew I wouldn't like it, and so I take a stamp from one of my Felicity Jane sets that it's a circle and it obviously says fun. And I'm just stamping it a few times. I can't decide if I want a really clean image or if I want it to be a little, not stamped quite as perfectly. A lot of times when I stamp, I like it to look like a stamp, and so I like it when it's not perfect. But I just picked one that I liked, and now I'm cutting it out. I used some Hero Arts Pale Tomato ink, and that is one of my favorite ink colors. And now I'm just going to get everything stuck down on this card, but I'm gonna tuck that red circle right underneath the today circle and just have them overlapping just a bit. So when I'm done with that card, I just get my little page map out here again and I lay everything out. I like to do this at the end so that I can get a good idea of what everything looks like all together, and see if I want to add anything else or not. And this is where I decide that I think that card needs a little bit more detail. It looks just a little bit too plain and washed out for me. So I just take my pen and I'm going to do a couple messy lines around this whole thing. And I think that adds just enough detail that it doesn't look too washed out, I guess. And because I did that around that card, I decided to go ahead and do it around my title card as well. And then I call this layout done. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you all very, very soon. All right, see you later, guys.